You're listening to Kane, Randy, and Brooke on Scratch the Vinyl.
Scratch the Vinyl.
All right, everybody. Welcome back to Scratch the Vinyl. You made it back for another week, and I am ecstatic that you did because it's just great to have you guys as fans and friends and listeners of the show. So this week, I can't even tell you guys how pumped I am. I mean, you guys already know because I mention it all the time. I'm a spooky guy all year long, but everybody, it's spooky month. We're here. It's my favorite month and time of the year. I'm basically binging horror movies nonstop. And well, truth be known, I do that anyway. But I don't know. It just feels different. I feel like my superpowers are beginning. I feel like Jason Voorhees in Friday the 13th, you know, teenagers when they're around, I kind of get like these special powers, maybe feel a little bit homicidal. And, you know, I just want to go to a camp somewhere and hang out. So I got to tell you, there's a ton of things going on. But the biggest thing I wanted to talk about, I want to bring my other hosts on and I want to get their opinion in a moment. Is I saw that a lot of people are outraged right now over, and I don't want to get into the political stuff, but apparently Bad Bunny has been signed on to do the Super Bowl halftime show. And I thought, what a pickup, right? I mean, this guy is one of the biggest entertainers in the world. He was the caddy on the new Happy Gilmore movie. He's hilarious. He's just, I don't know what people are up in arms about, but I know a lot of people did want Metallica because of the location where it was. And I want to see Metallica in it too, but I want to get their opinion. So since she's been gone for a little while and, you know, we told you guys she was out picking up trash. She's had a stint at Folsom Prison. She did all this crazy stuff. Let's bring her on right now. She's the red lip lady. She's the witchy woman. She's the lady that stole our hearts. Brooke Johnson, welcome back to the show.
Thank you, Kane. I'm so glad to be back. Yes, I was picking up trash, helping cats under your bed, listening to you and your wife, just having conversations. I am the ghost in your house, Kane. Just FYI.
I heard like a pounding around earlier. Like I even was like awakened by like knocking. And I swear it was you, Brooke. Like I swear you are the ghost that's pounding around in each room when I'm not in there.
You're not wrong. And I prefer your closet with your skeletons because we have wonderful conversations. We were just playing a little trick on you, but you just wait. It's going to get better. I promise.
Now, would you have been freaked out if I had wore like a, you know, like a skeleton necklace of like, you know, or like had like a skeleton on my lap the whole time today?
No, not at all. In fact, I think it's weird that you don't. So I need to get your skeletons. Let's do it. I need you to have one sitting on you. I think that's a good idea, actually. What's his name?
Fred the skeleton. Yeah.
Yeah. Fred and I are, pretty close. It kind of like Bad Bunny. We talked about him the other day. I literally thought it was just like the first dude bunny at the bunny ranch. I really didn't know who it was at first, but I guess it's controversial about who he is. I don't know. I think he's pretty cool looking.
All this skeleton talk, you know, and insert boner material here wherever you want. It's just the appropriate joke at this point. But speaking of guys with, well, I don't know if he has any skeletons in his closet or not, but he has to. He's the Godzilla of entertainment, everybody. He is the God of Thunder. He's the King of Sting, and he also stole my heart. Randy Wilson, welcome back to the show.
Well, I did get to have a great day yesterday hanging out in the studio with you.
It was a blast, man.
I didn't see any skeletons, but we did have a great day on dealing with music and talking about Scratch the Vinyl and, you know, this controversy. What the heck? I mean, Bad Bunny, he's one of the best and he's hilarious. It's going to be a great halftime show.
Well, yeah, like I know, you know, like I said, I don't want to get into the politics because this is not a super political show. You can go to a lot of different shows for that. But I'll say this, like, I know that I can understand if people want like a rock act. You know, we haven't had a good rock act and people really want Metallica to burn it down. And I did too. But I'm not mad at it. I don't hate the fact that Bad Bunny's on there, and I don't think you do either.
No, it'll be a great show, and it's just something to talk about. If anything, it helps boost their ratings, and that's what they want. So let's just call it that.
Yeah. So do you have any spooky month plans so far with karaoke? I mean, is every week going to be karaoke? What do you have planned, Randy? I mean, I guess I've never really asked you. Are you a big like horror movie guy?
No, I'm more like a Charlie Brown. I love the Great Pumpkin kind of guy. I mean, I will say this: we finished off my birthday week with Twisted Chrome down at Matson's, and we already had the Halloween stuff out. So if you guys get a chance, go and check those videos out. That was awesome. And I just kind of look forward to just the fall and the weather, and it's still football season. But I don't get too excited until they start handing out the candy.
Absolutely, man. That's one thing that I loathe and I love at the same time is all that candy that I got to sample for my kids is so that there's no razor blades and poison and everything in there. What a sham our parents did to just steal our candy back in the day.
I did it all the time. And I was always like, you guys, I got to check out every Snicker bar. I have to check out now that apple, you can have that. And you can have that chewy thing that's half open. You can have that. Looks like it probably has a razor blade in it, but it looks nasty. Go ahead and have it. I really liked to check out the Snicker bars. I think that's where they hide them all.
My mom actually worked at the airport back then, like pre TSA or like. And she would actually run our candy through the X-ray machine to look for razor blades. And so I know Mom was legit. Mom was one of those people that was trying to really look out for us.
You had hookups. So, that is awesome. So did they get to take a flight somewhere or no? You just ate all the candy.
We just ate all the candy, hung out. We had it finished by the time we got back to Air Park. It was good times to be had by all. I was a little fat kid, like it didn't take long before that candy was gone.
Kane, I want to know, should I let the black cat out of the bag a little bit?
Ooh. Man, you just said chills down my spine, Randy. I don't know if we should just yet. I'm afraid. It's up to you.
All right. Well, I hinted at it a few weeks ago, and there is a very, very strong possibility. We won't release the names yet, but by the time this episode drops, we could be having a Scratch the Vinyl Metal Mania Halloween party. So look out, fans.
Look out, everybody. He didn't quite let the black cat out of the bag just yet, but there is something brewing in this, in Brooke's cauldron, and it's going to be pretty great. And so another thing we have going on is can you believe it, everybody? We have an awesome guest on our hands. We worked our witchy magic, and we've talked to a lot of different genres and different people, but we haven't touched on this genre in a while. And so I'm really pumped to have this guy on because this guy's been hitting it hard for years. And I pay attention to this stuff because I used to be in the country circuit a little bit too with the bands that I was in. I used to write country songs. And so we got to get a little bit more country up in here. And I can't wait to talk to this guest. So let's bring him on right now, everybody. He is the great and wonderful Nathan Wade. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, Kane. Good to be here.
Man, dude, you have been really burning it down when it comes to, I pay attention to your page and you've been playing a lot. You've been playing the small town circuits. You've been playing everywhere where they will put you up with your guitar and a stool, and you are just, you're getting out there and hitting it, man. How's it been going for you?
Yeah, man, it's, like I said, I took most of the last 10 years off. Wasn't really writing, wasn't playing very much. And, that's because I let the whispers get in my head that, my songs wouldn't be good enough to hold an audience and stuff like that. And got my grandson about six and a half years ago now. And I used that as an excuse to not get back out there. And finally this year, it just kind of hit me, man. I was at a dead end job and hating it. And, we had him in all these taekwondo, and now he's in competitive gymnastics. And, we're telling him to just go for it and do your best and chase your dreams. And I realized I wasn't doing it anymore. So I walked in and quit that job a few months back and started booking shows. And I've just been blessed and so thankful for the venues that I've been able to get into, some of which I thought would never embrace a guy sitting on a stool singing his own songs that they've never heard, but I've been pleasantly surprised by it, and it's just going great, man. I'm just blessed.
I love this story, Nathan, because you essentially did what my hero, Johnny Paycheck, talked about. You walked into your job and you said, take this job and shove it. And you went out there and you tried to, you're trying to get your dream going again, man. And that's what it's about. I can tell you from songwriter to songwriter, it is the hardest thing, man, to hear the whispers and hear people say it's not good enough, or just the whispers in your own head, right? You telling you it's not good enough, even though you believe in yourself. It's an important thing for people to learn. And that's what I think the guests on the show, there's a lot of musicians that listen to this show, Nathan. And I think that they're going to take that to heart, what you're saying. And I want them to kind of listen to what you're saying about it and maybe get inspired again, too, to write. I mean, Randy knows. He and I are writing some songs together, and I'll throw songs at him that I have been writing for 10 or 15 years. And I'm just trying to give him the light of day now. So for you, with it being this way, how is it going for you now? I mean, you're ignoring the whispers and you're just kind of trying to fulfill some of your dreams, correct?
Yeah, it's funny. I'm not hearing those whispers. The whispers I'm hearing are all positive. I just played at Bucks last Friday, and I'll tell you about how when you're writing songs, you gotta write your story, tell your story, and see how it can touch other people in even maybe a little different way than it hits you. So when I started back at this thing a few months ago, I finally was able to write the song about Jax and how we adopted him and those things, because I had tried to write it for the last 6.5 years. And I was trying to put some clever hook on it, make it clever. And what finally hit me was just tell the exact story of what happened. And so, it's just called It's Gonna Be Okay. And I just actually put it on YouTube. I'm trying to get YouTube going. I'm not a technology guy. I think I'm one of those, I'm not a stupid guy, but I'm kind of a redneck, I guess, out of place with some of that stuff. So I'm just trying to push some of these songs that people are resonating with. And I was playing that song at Bucks, and after I got done, a family came up to me, and this young lady, Liliana, she told me how much she appreciated and related to that song because she happened to be adopted when she was 4 years old by that family that she was standing there with. So I think that's just a huge thing. Now, this for me, this was my blood grandson, but for them, it's a different story. But ultimately, it's just taking somebody and loving them as your own, and being able to tell that story was pretty amazing for me and personally, but to see other people affected by it, that's what writing country songs for me is all about.
I think that also can affiliate to almost anything that you do. Like comedians, if you just tell your story, it's hilarious. It's how you say it. It's how you do it. It's how you bring it to the table and how you perform it. And you really don't have to think about it too much because it is you. That's who you are. And you're right. That inspiration that your grandson or your son, they give you, sometimes that's your light that you have to be inspired. And you know how many people are going to be inspired by you and listen to your lyrics, your song. But not only are you not just making it so it's like this bells and whistles and all this, it's true. Like what you're saying is true. So when you're performing it, it is genuine, and people can see that 100%. And your voice, man. Hello, ladies. I love the low voices.
Yeah.
But your family inspires you. You finally, the voices are, and the whispers are gone. And I'm a true believer that, you know what, screw everybody else. If you don't like it, don't listen to it. But it's your art. It's my art. It's whoever art it is. And let it be. And I want to know, you growing up, what was that inspiration of country or music, or why did you want to be a musician?
Growing up, it wasn't, I love music, all kinds of music back then. And I think it was just in high school, right towards the end, there was the big boom with like the Toby Keith and Garth Brooks is right at the early 90s. And I really just started gravitating towards that music and thinking just, man, this stuff just sounds more real to me. It's not just about the tempo and the drum beat and the boom, 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 thumping bass lines. Instead, just, they're telling real stories, you know? And I think it just kind of took off from there. When I was probably about 19, I just started writing songs. When I was 21, I finally got myself a guitar and taught myself how to play it enough. Like when you know how you see musicians will have their page and you'll see singer, songwriter, guitarist, you know, as their occupation or whatever. I would put singer, songwriter, guitar-ish because I don't think I'm a very great guitar player myself, but if I can get 3 chords in the truth, then I'm good to go. So, yeah, it really just started then. At that time, I was still out in Maine, which is where my mom moved us out to years ago. But when I was 21, I got married and moved back to Nebraska and started doing contests. I don't know if anybody remembers the old Red Barn Opry Show House out there off I-80, which is now like a truck center. But that's where I really cut my teeth with live bands. And I won a contest and a trip to Nashville, and I just kind of took off from there. Started writing, and there I went. So it's been quite a journey.
All right. So I don't know if you guys noticed in some of the ads that we do, but we do have Lil Bill's Barbecue as a sponsor. And I'm so glad to have the 8 best flavors of my life through Lil Bill's Barbecue. But I've been telling you guys for a while that this is the best barbecue sauce that I've ever had. I mean, these flavors are amazing. I've literally been injecting it into my muscles. I am right now, I think that I just got a call from the WWE and they want me to come do a tryout because I mean, like, I'm just jacked because of this barbecue sauce. And I thought to myself, like, there is something so cool about this barbecue sauce. There's got to be like a connector here with one of the other hosts. And then it dawned on me. Brooke in the OnlyFans, Meat Feet. Brooke, can you, I mean, I know you love this product, but have you tried dumping some of this stuff on there? Are you getting more fans to come on?
I have, Kane. In fact, my fan page is just going, I mean, it's out of this world. And my feet feel softer. We do have some guests that come on that like to lick it off, and they just love it. And they go home and they use it on all of their meat as well. It's absolutely wonderful. I love it.
And I know you, Randy, you know, I know that you are the big cook of the group. I mean, you're world famous for some of that food at Randy's Grill and Chill. Tell me what you think about Lil Bill's Barbecue.
Well, not only do I like the flavor and taste of Bill's Barbecue, but if those of you have experienced neuropathy in your feet, I rub that sassy sauce on my feet, and they immediately that neuropathy goes away.
You heard it here first, everybody. This barbecue sauce, all these sauces have so many different things that they can do for you. I'm going to start rubbing it on as lotion because apparently it helps Brooke to clean those bunions up and get them sparkling like gold. So go to their Facebook page and look for Lil Bill's Barbecue. That's where you can get it right now exclusively, and tell them that Scratch the Vinyl sent you.
So obviously you had the Nathan Wade band, correct? And you know, you kind of did that for quite a while. You know, kind of tell us the process, how that went, and you know where that took you.
Yeah. So started writing pretty heavily in probably 2005 with a friend of mine, Tim Beasy. And we would just sit there and write songs. And our whole goal at that point was to get our songs to somebody in Nashville. He had already had some connections with stuff like that. So that was really our goal. But over those couple of years, the next couple of years, I really just said, I want to be singing my songs. And so in 2009, I was able to get a band together, and we just started touring everywhere, and it blew up really fast. So I had enough originals, and we were a cover band essentially, but I kept putting originals into it because that's what I really wanted to work towards. Like I said, we blew up fast. We were playing all the big venues in the area and outside the area, all the rodeos, you know, the Bushwhackers, the Uncle Rons, all the big honky tonks. And as we went on the next few years, I put out a couple of original albums and sold thousands of copies at our shows. But then when I when I approached them in, was it probably 2012, maybe. Can't remember the exact timeline, but I said I wanted to put some more originals in, and they all said, "Nah, then people will start thinking we're an original band." And I'm like, "Well, that's what I started this thing for, right?" But my musicians, man, they were. I mean, you've probably seen all of them in bands all over the place. The Todd Robersons of the world, and Greg Eden, and guys like that, G.K. Gammon. They were phenomenal musicians, and but they were more geared towards cover band type musicians. They just wanted to show up, play all the songs and that stuff. And I'm just a little different, you know. And people get mad at me all the time. I guess they think I don't like cover bands. It's not that I don't like cover bands. I'll go watch a cover band play all day. It's just not me. I've got enough songs to play a 4-hour set myself, and I'd prefer to sing those. You know, I don't. If you look at my first album, it was called My Own Name, and that should have clued him in where I was headed with that thing, because it's like I was talking about how I look like this. They say I look like this guy and I sound like this guy, but I wanted to make my own name. You know, I wanted to be me, and I think that's when we split up right in there, and I started trying to do acoustic shows for a couple of years. And, you know, I was still getting booked because of my name at that time. But then that's when the whispers came in. It was, we don't want to just listen to some guy on a stool singing stuff we've never heard. You know, most bars just want you to be their background music. They're not really listening to the words, that kind of stuff. And it got super frustrating. The 8th time some drunk college girl came up to me and said, "Play Luke Bryan." Yeah, that was about it for me. Said, "Yeah, I don't play Luke Bryan. You want to go see Luke Bryan? Go buy a ticket, or go down the street to the other bar that has a band that'll play you Luke Bryan." That's just not what I do. And people got mad at me, and I got frustrated with the thing, so I just kind of gave up on it, because it really thickened my skin, I think, to the point where I had to realize that some people just aren't going to like it, and that's up to them. Can't change their mind. If I can find places that I can keep playing and playing my songs and being appreciated for that, that's where I want to be. I don't care if it's a small town. I don't need some big dance hall or stadium, or like I used to chase back then. With my ego back then was just ginormous. I mean, it went from confidence to being cocky, I think, and I'm just kind of glad I'm not there now. And I think maybe the break from a lot of the music is what's helped me. And 3 divorces and rock star living and all that kind of wears you out after a while. I'll be 50 next year, so getting a little old, but going to keep firing. I ain't done yet.
Well, it sounds like you just kind of came back to the love of the music. Really, it just kind of brought you back to the beginning. And listen to your story a little bit about why you were writing these new songs. And Brooke touched on it a little bit, but basically you're just putting out your real emotion, and again, that raw, authentic feel. You'll find fans that just want to listen. Country's about storytelling, and if you can tell a good story and you can put some emotion behind a song, you're going to have a hit.
Yeah, I think for me, that's it. I think they can see where I've been and where I am now. They can see the emotion, and they can feel it when I sing. I mean, the first time I tried to sing that song about Jax, I lost it. You're singing a song, and it's weird, because when you start playing it more and more, it's easier to contain your emotion, even though you're feeling it the whole time. It's easier to, not just cry like a little baby, like I did, I think, the first time I sang it to anybody. But, and then there's some moments when you're in a place and you can feel that everybody's really engaged and listening, and man, they ain't going to care if you cry, because they're crying back there holding their beer. So for me, that's the connection. And that was the thing with the band as well, was, man, I love those guys, but they wanted to get to the venues like 30 minutes, set up and play. And I was like, no, we're going to get there like 2 hours early. We're going to meet the people from this town, because it's a new one or whatever. And, talk to people, get engaged and stuff like that. And they got a lot better at it. They're all super cool guys, man. I loved playing with that band because of the musicianship was incredible. But I think this now for me is I'd like to have a band, as long as they'd play all my songs, but that's been hard to find. So I'm just going to keep doing this and see where it goes.
You know what? I'm going to manifest a band for you because I think you just need it. I want to go see when people, musicians up there crying or being emotional, it means they really mean something. Most of the people that I love, all the musicians, it's that emotional connection I have with them. Even if, the lyrics mean something different to me than you, but just seeing you do that, that's a badass, by the way.
I'm way more vulnerable. I'm old enough now to know, like I said, some people might not care for it or like it, but I'm going to wear my heart on my sleeve.
Yeah, screw them. Who
But
cares? Who cares what anybody else thinks? Come on now. Do your thing. And the inspiration that you have now means something to you. It's not an ego thing anymore. It's an emotional thing. We're getting older. We understand things better. We are more seasoned. And I think that I think you found your calling in this. And I know Kane was in a few, like he did country for a while too. And I don't know if Kane, do you can relate to any of this or?
I mean, I can relate to all of it. When I was in the Low on Cash band, I used to go around and I would play on corners downtown with a sign around my neck, saying we'll play for booze and all that stuff. And I would call myself Low on Cash, Johnny Cash's bastard son, and so I can relate to this as much as anybody. It's hard, man. But Nathan said something that just kind of it sent goosebumps all over me. He said 3 chords and the truth, man. And I like, you know what? Damn it. That is about as right as it gets, especially when it comes to country. There's something about going to these small towns and having to be the entertainment for the night. You're the only entertainment in some of these towns. And you got to win these people over. And you might walk in as a motley crew of a band, everybody kind of is staring at you as you come in, and you have to win these people over. And so I can remember us immediately playing Folsom Prison at the beginning of the set. Like right off the bat, there's nothing better in my head than getting people excited, even if you're an original artist, than throwing down on that song. And then once people started getting into it, we won them over instantly. Then we could just kind of work our way down the list. We'd play our originals and I would mix them in. But, I can definitely relate to what he's saying. I can relate to everything about having doubt about yourself, thinking about what am I even doing? This whole interview with you is really kind of healing me because I miss doing country, man. I really do. It's a blast. And what you're doing is something that the vulnerability is the coolest part. I mean, think of all, my heroes are Merle Haggard. My heroes are Johnny Paycheck, and those guys are the true authentic guys that did country. I just can't relate, and I know there's some guys out there, some real great musicians. I just can't relate to some of the bands for today. They're not for me, but they are for somebody, and I know they have a vulnerability too. So that's kind of my tie into it is yes, Brooke. A long-winded answer to your question would be I can totally relate because I was doing it. I was playing in a country band and doing the best I could to just win people over. All right. This is as good a point as any to run the Elegant Sasquatch ad, and then we will go ahead and get ourselves the lock of the week, the local lock of the week. It's October or Rocktober, depending on how you're looking at it. And I think that these particular shows are my local lock of the week and what I think truly rocks. So stay tuned for that, and then we'll get back to our interview with Nathan Wade.
Out in the wild, there's one creature feared by hunters, admired by lumberjacks, and envied by hipsters.
Yeah, it's me, the Elegant Sasquatch, and let me tell you, these locks don't tame themselves.
Introducing the Elegant Sasquatch Grooming Company. Beard oils, butters, and washes so good, they'll make your face smell like you wrestled a cedar tree while sipping fine whiskey.
Last week, a hiker followed me for 3 miles just to ask what cologne I was wearing. Joke's on him, I don't wear cologne. I wear the Gentleman.
Upgrade your beard game. Sophisticate your outer beast. Find the Elegant Sasquatch Grooming Company at elegantsasquatchco.etsy.com.
And stop stealing my jerky!
All right, so my local lock of the week this week is at the Zoo Bar, everybody. The Zoo Bar is always rocking, and this weekend is going to be no different. It looks like Friday night they've got a pretty big show. They've got Dip Tet, Jericho Strays, and $1 Million Veins. On Saturday, they've got Tricks and Treats, Drag and Burlesque. On Sunday, they've got our sponsor, Roots Music Shop, is doing their monthly Roots Music Shop jam. So, I mean, that's a pretty good weekend. And then to top it all off, they have the Zoot Nanny later on at the Zoo Bar, where they have some comedy going on with, I don't see who it is. I swear I can read everybody. Fred, do you have anything to say before we go? No, Fred the Skeleton is just chillaxing, maxing and chillaxing and enjoying his time on the show. And now we're going to get back to it. We're going to listen to more of our episode with Nathan Wade.
Nathan, if you don't use the 3 chords and the truth on a t-shirt, I think I would like to use it for our
that's Harlan. That's an old school country songwriter, Harlan Howard. I got that quote a long time ago. So I can't use it. It's not mine, but it sure is the truth, man. I just feel like if you walk in there and just be honest with the people, and you just connect so much easier with them, not having the band behind me. I mean, it's just me. It's just raw, and I'm going to be me. And I sure hope you like it. And so far, the last few months, most people have, as far as I know. So it's been pretty fun. And you know what? The thing is, like, I quit my job. I'm also broke, but I've been probably the most least stressed in just years, because I feel like I'm just really doing what I should be doing. And if I got to live paycheck to paycheck, as long as I can pay my bills and take care of Jax, I think I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
And I think you are too. And isn't that crazy how the older we get, the more inspired, the more all of it, that we care less about certain things. And I wish I could tell my children or young people or even older people that don't quite get it yet, that what's really important is to love each other, get the word out about how you feel. Because you're, like Kane said, just being in that bad place sometimes, hearing someone else say, yeah, I've been there too, that means a lot. And I think what you're doing and how you're doing it is inspirational. And I think your grandson I think he's going to be probably the next, like, I don't know,
he could be anything.
He could be anything he wants. Anything
he wants.
Inspiration. And we need more of that now, especially today in this world. We need inspiration. We need people that are kind, loving, caring, and the truth. And that's what you do. And we really respect that and love that. And I know that you have traveled everywhere. And I know you have some stuff coming up. And you're going to be going to some places in Nebraska. And I know that we usually talk about kind of the end, but I want to hear your, like, just where you're playing, where you're going to go. And I want to know about that, because I want to go see you live.
Sure. Yeah. October is this weekend. I'll be in Sterling, Nebraska, which is a place I got connected with. A friend now, Dale Barnes, he's opening up a bar down there called the Meadowlark Listening Room. He's been remodeling all summer, trying to get that ready to roll. So I will be playing there on Saturday night. Special guest Lou Mack, who's been a friend of mine for well over a decade. I do a disabled veterans show every year for the last 10 years. This year will be 11 to support them. And so now I'm going to have Lou come open my show there. And then I will be in Dunlap, Iowa at the Doghouse Bar and Grill. Very cool place. It's Sunday Fun Day, so it's going to be 1 to 4. We just go in there and they let me play. We have a little fun, and the last time they actually have an Airbnb right across the street in that little town, and it was amazing. So we actually stayed out there Sunday night. Then October. Now, see, with me raising Jacks and being split up, it's every other weekend. So that's another kind of obstacle I have to navigate when I'm booking shows. I have been able to book a few while I had him that I could actually bring him to, which if you do look up on YouTube, if you look up that song, It's Gonna Be Okay, that was the first time that I actually got to have him come out since he was like 2 years old when we first got him. And he went out to a show with me when he was 2 years old, and we got pictures of him sitting on the tailgate just staring up at me while I'm playing. And he's wearing a little Johnny Cash shirt that we got him. And so 6.5 years later, I get to go out and play the Country Drive. And that plays out in Ashland. It's amazing. What a venue. It's right off the golf course. They got all the huge buildings. And I happen to be opening for a Johnny Cash tribute band on this night. And I get to bring Jax up on stage and sing that song. So that's the video that's on YouTube now. So that is something that is just an amazing moment for me and him. And he was a little shy up there that time, but boy, the next time I played it out in Sterling here a couple weeks ago, he was getting on the microphone with me and telling me that after I finished that, he telling the crowd we had to take a break because Nathan Wade was sad, stuff like that. So then the big one here this month would be out in Deadwood, South Dakota. So they put together this giant songwriter festival for like local Midwestern singers and songwriters. And I was actually invited to go out there since I got back into it, which is an honor in itself after taking so long off and kind of becoming irrelevant, I thought. But yeah, they asked me to come out and do this, and it happens to be a weekend I do not have Jax. So I was all for it. Excuse me. So there's like, gosh, I want to say there's close to 50 or so songwriters out there, and we've got like 4 venues, and we're going to have 2, 3, 4 of us on each stage throughout the days. So like Thursday, I'm going to be playing at 12:10 with 2 other folks out there on stage, and then at 3:40 I'll be at a different bar, and then on and on and on Thursday through Saturday, back and forth. And then just the camaraderie, we'll all get together and have meetings with all these other songwriters. And I keep joking. I think I'm the old guy of the bunch. I'm pretty sure they're probably going to be calling me grandpa, but that's okay because I actually am a grandpa. So I'll take it either way. But yeah, out in Deadwood, the 16th, 17th, and 18th. And then, the weekends in between, I've got Jax. So I don't really have anything booked there. But November is looking okay. I mean, might need to fill a couple more spots for the year, but I'm really starting to look at what we have in store for 2026.
That sounds amazing. And come on now, if you ever need a babysitter, I mean, you got 3 of us right here. We can go down to.
Well, there's complications to that.
We could do his own little.
And I'd rather not when I have my time is the thing. You know what I mean? When I have my time, I want to take it and be with him and that stuff. So
you could always go to Kane's basement. He has his studio, and we could do a little
jam.
Yeah, do a little Jax could sing, and I think he's the next Garth Brooks or something.
Oh, who knows?
He'll be badass.
I don't know if he'll be singing, but he's gonna be taking his Taekwondo testing not this upcoming Monday, but the following Monday for his level 3 brown belt. So then after that is red, and after that is black. So he's all the way up into that, and now he's in competitive gymnastics. And watching that kid hang from 15 feet in the air upside down on rings is absolutely insane to me, but he can do it. It's wild. It's just it's been a fun ride, even with the complications involved.
Yeah, that's so cool. But life brings complications. It's what we do with it and how we see it. And just, live, laugh, love. Let's keep going. Give that little boy much love as you can. My son did a lot of that stuff too. And he is a spitfire, man. He goes. And I actually see him as maybe a drummer. I see Jack's a drummer. And, but yeah, maybe someday, who knows, whatever he wants to do, because he has really good people in his lives, I can tell. And also want to know, how do we get a hold of you, though, if we want you to perform somewhere? I mean, do you do like certain venues or weddings, or do you just do bar? I mean, like, because it sounds like you can pretty much perform wherever.
I mean, yeah, I try to steer clear of weddings. I do have a lot of people ask me to perform at their weddings, and I just make clear to them, because doing a wedding, you're almost expected to sing particular songs, and I just don't do that. So I've turned down a lot of money to do those things, but for me, it's just I'm going to stay true to me and do those things. So private parties, those kind of things, I'm all for that. Bars, certain venues maybe that aren't bars, like I'm okay with doing that. I don't.
How
It's
do
a
we?
lot.
How can we get a hold of you if we do want you?
Oh, yeah.
Besides, I am getting married soon, but it'd be kind of nice to sing "It's Gonna Be Okay" for my husband. I
Yeah.
just,
See, you can relate it to anything. Well, it's gonna be okay, man.
hey, sweetheart.
But
But I mean, yeah, is there a website or anything, or like a Facebook? Because we're going to promote the shit out of you. So,
yeah, really, right now it's Facebook. So it's Nathan Wade Country is my music page, um, and I direct most people to that if they're going to search for me online. Because if you put in Nathan Wade Country, you're going to find the YouTube, the iTunes, all of my previous albums that were recorded before are on there. But I haven't recorded an album since 2015, so this is like my 10-year anniversary. So I actually put out the shirt of that album, the What I Love and What I Do album. And, you know, I'm also on YouTube now. I'm finally uploading videos on YouTube, trying to get that position. I've always been, I don't know, TikTok has always just kind of scared the crap out of me. I don't know why. Everybody's like, you should get on TikTok. I'm like, TikTok will make you dumb, dumb. For me, it's like, nah, that's just too much. But, I know they're right. I'm just stubborn. So I may end up there someday, and I'll let everybody know that. But right now, for me, it's Facebook, and trying to get some videos moving on YouTube and see where that goes. But really just finding venues. If you want to book me, it's nathanwadecountry@gmail.com. And I can give you my phone number and all that stuff, personal phone number, those kind of things. So I'm not afraid to take any calls. But well, except for all the robocalls I get from. I've been approved for so many loans this year; it's ridiculous. I don't know why I'm still broke.
I want to first say, of course, I've been fortunate enough to hear Nathan sing before, and he's been to a few of my shows and has performed, and it has a wonderful voice. And what I really want to tell you is, listening to this conversation with you, is I think I can tell right away where your inspiration is coming from. I mean, that comes out clear as day, and it's something that we talk about all the time, about how music kind of heals us. It's our safe place. All those things that we love about music. I think it's just helped you find your path again, and 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 it's helped you find your path because you feel so emotional and connected to things that are happening in your life right now. And no matter what happened before, it doesn't matter. It's about moving forward. And I can tell you're on a mission. And what was funny is when Kane messaged me that we were going to have you on the show, I said, well, I know who Nathan Wade is, and I can't wait to have him on the show. And I almost immediately, in my news feed, I started seeing you were performing. So I know you've been getting out there, and you letting us know all these events you got coming up. Man, I'm super happy for you, first off, because I think I hear what's coming out of your voice is just this, you know, you really want to get your stuff out. And just honestly, that's all you can ever ask for as an artist. You know what? The people that want to hear you will want to hear you. And I just would turn out all the rest of the noise, period. And I don't think people will be disappointed when they come to your show.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. Yeah, it really is. I get frustrated sometimes because, like I said, when we got the band together, everything moved so fast. We blew up so fast, had so many followers. You know, getting packing houses all over the place, and you know, I have to realize that it's been you know, a little over 10 years since that, and I let my name kind of drift out of a lot of people's heads, and it's a whole different ballgame. I mean, when I was playing with the band, most nights I was really drunk, and also most nights I was doing the splits, push-ups. I mean, we had bar owners call me, say I was like popcorn in the microwave. You can't do that when you're strapped down to a guitar. So it just all gets real, man.
Well, life is
You can't drink
experience.
that fast.
Yeah,
You
life's
can't drink as
experience.
fast anymore. You can't do the splits and the push-ups anymore because I won't get back up. And you know, you just got to sit up there and tell the truth. And I think it's been going pretty well.
It might explain why there's a lot of country songs about drinking, is what I'm trying to say.
I got a lot of them.
Is
A lot of them.
you know, you're talking about getting older, but let's just be honest. You now have a lot of experience from being in this industry. And now, in some ways, you're tapping into that emotion of that experience. And, maybe you can even tell us, some of the early things like the albums or artists that inspired you. But let's still be honest. It's your experience in the industry that has now gotten you to this point. And so it doesn't surprise me at all that you're tapping into that right now. And honestly, that's the best you can hope for, because this is the real Nathan Wade you have on stage right now.
Yes, sir. Yes. As far as inspirations and stuff, I kind of went a little backwards. Like I said, when I started really listening to country music, it was right there in the early '90s with the Toby Keiths, Clint Blacks, Garth Brooks. Just these really cool songs, and but they kept it fairly traditional. It wasn't anything that really off the top like a lot of the stuff nowadays. I'm not a huge fan. I haven't listened to modern country radio in years, honestly, because I feel like I'm just old school. I'm traditional, and that's what brought me back to starting to listen to the Merle Haggards more, and the Waylon Jennings and the Johnny Cash. I got songs about it, and it's just an honest assessment. And I think, yeah, in my younger days when it got started, I channeled those outlaws of country music, and I think maybe I was a little bit too outlaw back then. Got a little wild, a little crazy. But I think that's the whole thing. You gotta forgive yourself for those things. Number one, and number two, use them for good. They can tell the story of how it was back then. I still sing those songs, and they go over really well, which kind of surprised on some of them, but I'm loving the fact that I'm writing the new songs, because it's really something that I kind of stopped doing for so long, that I didn't know if I'd really be able to just start having those. Because sometimes when a song comes to me, I write a song in 10 minutes and it actually be good. That was the name of my first album, was My Own Name. And I was like, that's because we just needed a name to the album. So I sat down and wrote My Own Name in 10 minutes. Said, here we go. Let's do this. And other ones, they take years. Like Kane said, you'll have a song sitting in a notebook. And that's why I wrote the song about Waylon and Johnny and stuff on my second album. It's called Half Written Songs. And I thought, hey, this would be cool if I could finish this, because it's called Half Written Songs. And it's just basically a story about, even though they've got all those hit songs over the years, I guarantee you there's notebooks and notebooks full of half-written songs. And that's the same thing for me, man. I got so many notebooks with songs that have 2 lines or a verse and a chorus, and just never able to finish them. And some of them because they're terrible. And other ones I think are really good, but the rest of the story just hasn't hit me right yet, So I let them sit there, and every once in a while I'll look back and see if I can finish it. But the new ones that I'm writing, I think are pretty cool. Like God and Gasoline is one of my newest ones, and I wrote a song called Direction. It's a little more spiritual, but the first line is I was somewhere south of heaven, just north of hell. So that started it off, and then it just turned into a song called Direction. So those are all songs I've been working on, and I got a few more in the bank, and I'm going to keep chugging along.
You talked about a little bit more about the current state of country and how you like the classic country and how you connect with it. And there's like two camps in country, it feels like. There's us, and I say us, you, I, and a lot of us older guys who we just dig the old country. You know what I mean? Like anything before, we'll say 1995 or something, right?
Yeah, you're right.
Was just great. But it's just there are some good ones out there. I've dug through the catalog. There's a nice like what I call alt country, where they sound like, I mean, we're talking Whitey Morgan in the 78s. We're talking a lot of the kids of our heroes, like Lucas Nelson, Willie Nelson's son.
Yeah.
Johnny Paycheck's son, who performed at Kelly's, and Shooter Jennings. These guys are still carrying the torch, aren't they?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's super cool. I've been blessed to open for some of these guys that they're not on mainstream radio, like Cody Jinks. I opened for Whitey at Bucks. Opened for Cody at Bucks. I just opened for Courtney Patton out of Texas, and she's phenomenal. It's just so awesome, the talent that you see out there from around everywhere. And that's what I'm going to see when I go to Deadwood. And that's going to be like all Nebraska, South Dakota. That's going to be all regional. Like right here, we got all these people that can just write songs and sing them and get it out there. And for me, it's so cool. 20 years ago, I would have been like, oh, that's too many people. I want to be number one, that kind of stuff. Now it's like, bring them all in. They got talent. Let's showcase it. Give everybody an opportunity to get up there and show who they are. And let's just embrace it rather than, trying to push this way or push that way. Like you said, I'm more towards traditional, and I actually got turned down to be in a band. They approached me, and then the rest of the band listened to my stuff and said, sorry, we think you're just too traditional. And I said, well, thank you. Good luck. Because they want to do alternative. So, and that's fine for them. Then we know it's not going to be the right fit. I just want to sing real country songs, and that's just me, man.
Nathan, have you ever thought about having a female singer with you every once in a while? Because I have.
Are you shameless plugging yourself, Brooke, right now?
No, I can't sing for shit. Ask Randy. We do the let's do it.
I've heard you sing, Kelly.
Okay, well, we're gonna change the subject on that part.
So, anyways,
I think if you found a female, I don't know. There's just something. I think that'd be pretty badass. Would you ever think of doing something like that?
I have a duet that I did years ago that I wrote with a few folks out in Nashville. And when I came back, I don't know if you, Jessica. God, now I can't remember what she went by for her. Her last name now is McCallum. She's actually married, and she got out of music. But Jay Nix, she used to go by, and she used to sing out here all the time with folks at Uncle Ron's and back and forth. And I wrote this song out in Nashville, The Reason I Don't. And I've been trying to get somebody else to sing that with me for years, but can't find anybody who's really game. And it's basically a song about, when you decide to get married, even though you're having tough times, you're not going to leave because, you still love that person, whatever. So you have all these reasons, but here's the reason I don't. You can find it on YouTube. If you look up The Reason I Don't. It's a little harder because it doesn't have as many plays as we would have hoped for, but I think it's a great song. I sing it myself sometimes and try to do the lady parts, but terrible.
Well, I'm gonna give a shout out because I've got a couple female singers that I've recently had contact with that they actually find it hard to get into bands around here, but these ladies are super talented. I'm going to get a shout out to them right now that they should join forces with you on a song. I know one that I think would kill it with you. And so, Melissa, if you're listening to the show today, I'll be getting a hold of you and hooking you up with Nathan Wade.
We'll see if she's listening. See if your phone goes off.
We're going to find out. We're going to listen. We have learned that we have a little power behind the Scratch the Vinyl when it comes to manifesting music in the future. And I hope it is the same magic for you, Nathan. We we really appreciate you coming on today and sharing your story, because I think there was a lot to that, and I think our listeners are really going to appreciate, kind of hearing your story here today. And as always, time flies, and we're going to have to get out of here, but dude, I think you're on the right path again, and it's exciting, and I can't wait to check out one of your next shows.
I appreciate that, Randy. It's been great, man. I appreciate you guys having me on. Doing a few podcasts now. I think those are things you got to manifest somewhere. 20 years ago, all I wanted to do was push myself and have my own name. Even got it tattooed on my arm. And now it's more about my music. It's my songs. I feel like I've got songs that people will want to hear, and whether they make them cry or laugh or say hell yeah, I've got them all. So that's where I'm headed, I believe. And YouTube and technology and stuff I don't really want to get into, but I know I have to. So I'll probably bite the bullet a little bit on that. And I'd rather have other people saying, hey, you got to check out that Nathan Wade, because he's got this song or that song, and stuff like that. I don't like to toot my own horn a whole lot anymore. That's just, I know I got to sometimes, but
We'll toot your horn for you. We like to toot horns. I love tooting horns, and especially when it comes to very talented people. Hey, Nathan, I just have a request. Next time you're at Kelly's and we're at Randy's karaoke show, can I sing a song with you? You can put my microphone on mute, Randy. I don't care, but just to be up there to sing, would that be okay?
I mean, if I can get my schedule worked out, we might be able to make something like that work out. I don't get out to the bars a lot anymore unless I'm playing them, really. But
Yes,
we may be able to make something like that work.
Thank you. Okay, that's all I need to say. You heard it here on Scratch the Vinyl. Yay, I get to sing with Nathan anytime. I don't care if it's in 20 more years.
If I'm still around in 20 more years, I got to get this thing going now.
Well, your records, everything else will be around. So you will always be around, even if I have to have my daughter play with you on a record. Who cares? Who knows? It's going to happen.
Good.
But thank you, Nathan, for being here. And I enjoyed listening to everything you had. And you're a huge inspiration. Jax, right? He is so lucky to have you.
He's the man. I'm lucky to have him. I mean, honestly, I can't imagine my life now without him. I never knew I was going to be a grandpa, and now I'm a dad again. So it's pretty amazing. And just trying to do this thing again to show him that you can do anything's possible whenever. And it's been great being on here. I appreciate you, Brooke.
I appreciate you. We appreciate you. The world appreciates you. And I really hope that everyone listens to this, because we always ask, people like, what would you tell our future generation for musicians and all that? And what it comes down to is just tell the truth and be inspirational. Listen to yourself. And you've done that, and you have, I don't want to say it in a weird way, but you've touched many lives. Thank you for being on this show.
I appreciate it.
Yes, you are amazing. Thank you.
Well, we are truly blessed to have you on the show. It's great to have a country talent like yourself. Once again, Scratch the Vinyl fans, we've given you yet another proof that this is the most talented area in the entire world. And Nathan is a great example of that. So in the immortal words of Toby Keith, I ain't as good as I once was, but I'm as good once as I ever was. And I think that goes here perfectly with such a talent like Nathan Wade. So thank you for being on the show. And all you scratchaholics out there, keep on scratching that itch and coming back and joining us each week here on Scratch the Vinyl.
Scratch the vinyl.